Today, we're heading off to Austin, Texas to do some light painting at a little instameet where I'm going to show people how I use Eric Parre's technique with a little twist of my own, using fire and torches and explosions. Okay, just fire maybe, just fire. But it's going to be a good time. Hopefully it doesn't rain. It looks kind of lousy out today, so I'm praying to the weather gods. I've got my incense next to a portrait of Al Roker. We're going to have good weather. I know it. I just know it. If not, we can always go have some tacos, I guess. Yeah? Alright. High five. Let's get it. Now, before we hit the road, I'd like to show you what's in my gear bag when I go light painting. First off, we have this little Yongnuo trigger. This helps me wirelessly trigger the camera while I'm behind Julie making the shapes. It's a really cheap little thing. It's only 30 bucks. They come in pairs. This particular one is a Yongnuo RF603C. It's pretty handy. It runs off of AAA batteries. I run mine on rechargeable, so I'm not wasting disposable batteries all the time. It's got a decent range, and it works really well for what I do. Now, it attaches to the camera up here at the top in the hot shoe, and you put a cable on here that goes all the way around to the remote port on your camera, which on the 5D4 happens to be on the front. I know a lot of cameras have it on the side, or Nikon, who knows where those are. Also, I like to use fast glass, and I shoot wide a lot. In my typical bag, you'll find Sigma 20mm 1.4. Now, 1.4 isn't exactly necessary for light painting. I just like to have it in case I want to do some astrophotography later on in the evening. But either way, this is very much fast enough to suit any light painting conditions, even though oftentimes we're shooting at around f5.6 for the tubes, up to f7.1 for the fire. A fast glass is always nice to have around. Next, we'll need the tubes. These are fluorescent light protective covers. You can find them at any Home Depot or any lighting store you might have in your neighborhood. I know people have found them on Amazon. I've got a few different kinds here. This is a clear tube that I've hacked with some reflective fabric to make rainbow patterns. It looks really cool when you spin it. It makes a rainbow on the ground and behind the model, which is kind of interesting. Next up, we have an orange tube. I find that orange a lot of times really complements the blue sky when you're shooting in blue hour, so these are a big favorite. Next we have just a plain clear tube. This time we've got a little bit of parchment paper on the inside. That's handy for when you're shooting at blue hour. What it does is it enhances the power of the flashlight. Basically, it gives that light something to reflect off of, and it's almost like cranking up the power on a flash. It gives you a little bit more light output when you're trying to fight that ambient light that you have in the background. So that's handy. And so those are all the tubes I use. Those are obviously inspired by Eric Parre. He's a good friend of mine, a mentor, nice guy, incredibly creative. If you haven't, go check him out. I'll put the link in the description. Check out his IG. You'll be blown away. Now onto the fire part. This is pretty basic stuff. I just take a 3/4 inch wooden dowel that you can get from Home Depot or Lowe's or any hardware store really, and then I take a plain white cotton t-shirt and staple it around the stick. Now, it's really important that you get plain cotton because polyester and any kind of synthetic material will burn and then melt into plastic, which then flies everywhere. It can burn you very badly, so avoid synthetic materials if you can. Anyway, so I take it, I staple it on there so it's nice and secure, so it doesn't fly off when I'm making my circles and my shapes. And then I soak it in barbecue starter fluid, and that's going to help it burn a little more brightly and last a little longer for when you're shooting. So that's it. That's what's in my kit. Pretty simple stuff, but it's going to help you make amazing light painting photos. With that, let's get back to it. So we're on the road to Austin. It's been raining for an hour and a half. It's lousy outside, traffic sucks, but everyone in Austin's telling me that it's still holding off, so fingers crossed that the weather stays in decent shape for our little trip here. We'll see how it goes. So worse has come to worse. The rain has actually gotten worse since we got to Austin. We've got Stefan on the phone right now trying to find some kind of alternative. Not sure if he's gonna find one, so things aren't looking great for the meet right now. In the meantime, we're gonna have to come up with a way to make the most of our trip to Austin. Yeah? Found it? Found it. So we decided to press on, people showing up. The rain sucks, but you know what? Never stopped us before, so we're gonna show people how to light paint, we're gonna teach some people, we're gonna blow some minds, and hopefully people will come back with a little bit of knowledge of how to do this kind of stuff, so we'll see. So we survived, just barely. I'm soaked to the bone. We were standing in a wet creek. The cops came. We almost set Austin on fire. No, we didn't. It was actually, you do it very safe. We're safe people, okay? Safety first, guys. But it was a lot of fun. Everybody was really happy. I think everyone came away with a little bit extra light painting knowledge. I'm happy that we could share what we know with everybody, and I think we're gonna call it a day because I'm soaked to the bone. Every last inch of my clothing is wet. Our car's a wreck. We threw all the wet gear in here. And we got a long drive. We got to drive back to Houston tonight because we got to see our buddy's photo show tomorrow. So all in all, it was a great day. I mean, despite the rain, everybody had a good time. Everybody learned a little bit, and I think things went pretty well. So see you next time.